Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and I'm here to review the Souvenir. And I remember seeing the trailer for this film and it really grabbing my attention. It really seemed like one of those kinds of high-class film dramas that could really pull you in. Very talented cast, great dialogue, and honestly it was a lot of those things. And this film is about a young woman who's a film student who falls in love with this man who really comes down to it is this is a toxic abusive relationship, and watching her trying to get through this relationship, she lives in proximity with her mother and that dynamic. And this is a very dramatic film, a very powerful film, and Joanna Hogg, who's the screenwriter and director of this film, really captures a beautiful film. This is a beautiful film. It's really well shot, and it's very technically pleasing. And the shots are great. The graininess, how it captures the time period. This takes place in the early 80s, and really makes you feel involved in this dynamic, this relationship. And you kind of fly on the wall with it. My biggest issues with the film were there's particular pacing issues. There's parts that really did lose me, especially towards the beginning, and it was hard for me, and I'll admit I was dealing with a really bad sinus headache, and this is the kind of film that you really, really need to keep your attention in, because there isn't going to be a whole lot of things that are going to, from a filmmaking perspective, really keep you pulled in and engaged. And it gets a bit slow, and I can see where this movie might turn them off. This film, though, in a very powerful way, depicts a very realistic telling of a relationship like this. And honestly, some of the dialogue and some of the things that happen in this film really hit hard. And you might think it's like, how could she keep going back to them? But this is really realistic. And a lot of people in abusive relationships or toxic relationships keep going back. And this film captures that in a very realistic way, a very grounded way. It's not over the top, it's not overly dramatized. This film feels natural and feels real. And honestly, sometimes it's like watching a documentary of just these people living their lives. And the performances are great. Tom Burke is this man, and he can be slimy, but he's so charming, and he really embodies who this character is. And he's really able to grab the audience's attention, just like he's capturing Julie's attention, our main character, who's played by Swinton Byrne, who is the daughter of Tilda Swinton, who's also in this film. And Swinton Byrne is so great in this film. She captures the emotion, she captures what's going on, and you can really sympathize for her. And you do feel bad, and it hurts you to watch her keep getting caught up in this relationship. And there's very powerful imagery, very powerful symbolism, and Swinton Byrne really captures that. And then Tilda Swinton's in the film playing her mother, and she is tender and powerful, though. And she brings a great performance to this film. Overall, this is a great film on many levels. I wish the film was a little bit more engaging, and honestly this would have been one of the top films of the year for me. But it's still up there. It is a very good, very strong, powerful film. And I would recommend this. If you're not somebody who's really into that indie, very humanistic drama, this isn't going to be for you. And you'll probably check out, because the film is hard to keep really engaged in at points. But this film is really worth it, and I highly recommend this film. Let me know what you think. Comment below, and let's talk some movies. But thank you as always for supporting your Wasteland reviewer.